Each of the ordinary towns on the banks of the mighty Mississippi has something special to offer America. In East Moline, Illinois, one of those somethings is ice cream, in particular, soft serve ice cream, the kind found in restaurants like Dairy Queen. You see, East Moline is home to the company that makes the machines that make the ice cream, H.C. Duke.
Good afternoon, H.C. Duke.
Once upon a time, there was only one kind of ice cream. It came in a tub, was scooped out by hand, and took up a lot of space in stores. The alternative to that came in 1929, when Charles Erickson invented a machine that injected a mixture of milk and sugar with air while freezing it at the same time. Bingo! Soft serve ice cream, a treat that even smaller restaurants and vendors could now serve. In retrospect, we can see how this invigorated America's fast food industry, not least by putting the crowning touch on Dairy Queen. Account executive John Sacco has been on the case for more than 30 years.
In 1931, when they started the company, they were making laundry equipment. Henry Duke moved to this area from Owensboro, Kentucky.
And then they put ice cubes in the washing machine, and that was it.
Very similar, actually. They got approached by the founders of Dairy Queen in 1946 after they started their manufacturing business and asked if we could build them an ice cream machine. Dairy Queen was founded in this area. And we then built them this machine, identical in design to what you see here.
So it's a chicken and the egg kind of thing. Did Dairy Queen have a machine that gave them that texture of ice cream anyway, and then they came to you
they actually
to do it more
did.
efficiently?
Mm-hmm.
It was a match made in dairy heaven. Today, most of the 4,700 North American DQ locations use machines made by H.C. Duke in East Moline. As it turns out, the simple pleasures of soft serve ice cream are matched by the elegant simplicity of the machine that dispenses it. The mix containing milk and sugar is stored as a liquid until the handle is pulled. It's then flash frozen in a super-cooled cylinder while the desired amount of air is injected. Too much air, the ice cream will be more cream than ice. Too little, and it'll be more ice than cream. The manufacturing process begins as a frame that gathers various components: tubing, electronics, the beater blades, and the augers that churn the ice cream. The most important component is the freezing cylinder, which has to be handmade. Steve Aitken has been making them for 3 decades.
What are you doing over here, Steve?
I am wrapping the cylinder. This is soft serve cylinder here.
So you've got a liquid refrigerant going through the copper tubing
Correct.
that keeps this cylinder cold.
Each one's custom made, more or less. We put a base of thermomastic on there first. It's a heat transfer.
Thermomastic?
Yes, around here we call it peanut butter. You can probably see why.
Well, then in honor of you guys, when I go home, I'm going to start calling my peanut butter thermomastic.
Right.
Do you solder every turn or just that first turn?
Just the first one, and then
Like an anchor, huh?
As an anchor.
After wrapping, the cylinders are insulated.
We just saw Steve putting this together.
Correct.
Why is it black? Why don't you just leave it copper?
Well, what we do is we spray that with a black tar material to keep the foam from penetrating behind that copper when we insulate it.
The sprayed-on insulating foam quickly expands to surround every inch of the cylinder. Elsewhere in the factory, the beaters are made.
In order to make it food safe, we've got to weld up any seams on the machine parts, and then we've got to also polish them to a high luster so there's no crevices where bacteria can be formed in
Oh,
them.
and this is a mixer blade.
This is the beater shaft for our machine.
And you make this whole Magilla here, don't you?
That's correct. We machine all those pieces out here in our machine shop.
And also in the winter, you go into the ice skating business. Just put those right about the bottom of your shoes. I think we're onto something here.
I think you're right.
Before the beaters can begin beating, the first beaten into shape by Jeff Herman.
They weld these up, and they twist them, and they bend them all up, and they're not straight.
Why not?
Because they just...
What's the matter with those guys?
Yeah, the welders just aren't very good people.
Well, those welders.
The beaters have to be within 1/10,000th of an inch of perfectly straight.
Yeah,
Ah, see, that one's like...
that's off. About
Yeah.
8,000?
Yeah.
So you got to take this off, you flip it around. Now find the high spot.
This is a high spot right here.
No, that's a low spot.
That's what I meant. All right, let's give this a whack.
Right there. Oh, yeah.
Huh?
I think that did it.
I tried to do it for like 6,000 to 7,000. Perfect. Look, we won't tell them. Just say it's perfect.
Yeah, that's great.
Compressors and refrigeration plumbing are installed. The cylinders are assembled. And the soft serve machines are wired with an innovation that HC Duke claims as its own.
We have two thermostats because one is for a day mode, one is for a night mode, where we can actually hold the product then at night at a warmer temperature.
Keep it liquid.
Right, so that it doesn't have a bacteria formation.
Each machine is pressure tested before being fitted with a skin of sheet metal. Service manager Penny Klinger has been operating soft serve machines for at least 10 years, since she was 14.
Now, keep this a little bit closer. Go ahead and pull it down. And then...
So how long have you worked here? You worked here a long time now?
Quite some time, yeah. Now that's
Holy
working.
monkeys, look at that. Ice cream is fun.
Yeah, it's fun, all right. Fun to make, but more fun to eat.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Tim.
See you tomorrow.
Good night. See you tomorrow.